Hey, what is going on, everybody? In today's video, we are going to be talking about who I believe are the 10 most important campaign farmable characters right now. And before we get started on this, I want to make clear that this is designed for early and mid-game players. So with that in mind, we won't be including characters from the Do More campaign, which is kind of getting into the late game. But I will have some honorable mentions before the #1 spot with a few that are important to work towards. So this means that all of the ones on this list, with the exception of one, are in pre-level 70 campaigns, and you'll figure out soon who is the exception, because they are an important character to farm once you get there. So the majority of this list are easily accessible, but ones that everyone should be building towards 7-star for one reason or another, and this is exactly what I'm doing for my baby account as well now, and I wanted to share this with all of you. So without further ado, let's get this countdown started. Okay, so getting this list started, now coming in at number 10 and actually number 9 at the same time is going to be Black Panther and Okoye. So I'm doubling up on this one only because it's easy to talk about, and one of the main reasons why you're going to want both of them is because of the Chaos Theory Flash event. Now, if you watched maybe my Flash event tier list video, then you would know that I rate this pretty highly. So the Chaos Theory Flash event, which you get promotion credits, silver and gold promotion credits, is the #1 monthly Flash event in my opinion, which requires Wakandans. Now, this is not, this look of my Wakandan roster is not going to be what my baby account looks like. For example, I definitely overinvested in these characters more than I needed to, but Black Panther and Okoye are characters that you do need to campaign shard farm for, because this is very, very important. So yeah, you don't need to actually raise them, so don't, this is my account, my main account. Obviously, I've done a lot of crazy stuff. You don't really need to actually actively gear Black Panther and Okoye, but you do need to shard farm them. So where can you find them? You can find Black Panther in Nexus, and same with Okoye, actually, for that matter. So Nexus 4.9 here for Black Panther, which is pretty early on, all things considered. He is available also in the Alpha Raid Orb if you do get lucky there. But Okoye is Nexus 6, just a little bit ahead of Black Panther, and there you can find her in Nexus 6.3 here. So I would try and do an even farm on these. You don't have to do these every day, so because they're number 10 and number 9, this is kind of just like when you have the chance. I don't say that you have to do this every single day, but I would say, you know, do this when you can, because the Chaos Theory Flash event is pretty important in my opinion. One of the most important Flash events, I think, because the faster that you can get promotion credits, the faster that you can get red star promotions in your hands, meaning that you can control your own upgrades, because you know, we know that red star orbs are crap. So if you want to be able to do your own upgrades, then Chaos Theory is really the best way that you're going to get extra silver and gold promotion credits. And frankly, the only way to get gold promotion credits once you get levels tier 6 and 7. So do work on that. 9 and 10 at the same time here. Okoye and Black Panther, once again, you don't need to gear them heavily, but you do need to get the shards for them. So do work on that. And let's talk about number 8. Coming in at number 8 is going to be Cable of X-Force. Yes, he is number 8. Now, why is he number 8? Well, mainly because he is X-Force, so that's why he is. And he is actually a fairly easy farmable character. Now, in terms of wider usability for newer players, I'll admit I'm not really using him on my baby account, but I am still shard farming him because he is important for that Doc Ock unlock, which is still an important legendary for newer and mid-game players, so I definitely recommend doing that. Where can you find Cable, though? Of course, he is available in the Mystic 1.9. So this, I believe, is not available until level 50-ish, I want to say. I don't remember the when Mystic Forces unlocks. I think it's 50, but do correct me in the comments down below if I'm wrong about that one. So you can find them there. Not too difficult to unlock, though, still, if you have a handful of decent Mystic characters, and I do believe that next patch is going to have quite a few good ones, so that might make it a lot easier as well going forward. But yeah, other than that, Cable X-Force is actually a decent war offense team, but if you do take what I say about war, is that I don't put a lot of stock into war-specific characters. The only reason that you want to gear them up and stuff is mainly for the unlock for Doc Ock. Other than that, I don't think you need to put a lot of gear into them, but do make sure that you are putting shards into him, because that's how you're going to unlock Doc Ock. So let's move on to number 7. Coming in at number 7 is Taskmaster of the Mercs. So he has been more recently made farmable, which is great. And the funny thing is I can't show you where he's farmable until I hit that rank up button. Why have I not done that? Well, because I'm cheap and I'm trying to save my gold. But yeah, Mercs were a good team, a good war defense team. They're still a good team, but not a priority team at this point. So the main reason why you would want to pick up Taskmaster shards is because he is one of the best mercenary characters for the payday event, which is a pretty good flash event still, and he is quite nice for that. He is a decent villain skill character, and I do appreciate that he was made farmable a lot better. So previously he was on Doom War 3.9, and we're going to talk about Doom War 3.9 later on, but he was jumped down to Cosmic, so I can show you guys really quick where he's moved without actually clicking on the rank up button. So he is in Cosmic chapter 2, I'm pretty sure, yeah, 2.6 here. So this is quite of an easy farm to get to now because he is available. You can get through Cosmic quite easy with characters like Kestrel or any of the Infinity Watch characters, or even Gamora with a bunch of other side characters. It's not terribly hard to get through. The enemies are about 13k, so it doesn't take you long to get to this point. Again, a decent character still. There might be some room for improvement in it with him in the future, but some of the main reasons why you'll want to farm him is for the payday flash event, and you'll notice that a few of the lower end characters below number 5 are probably mostly event farmable characters anyways. So Taskmaster at number 7 here at Cosmic 2.6. Coming in at number 6 is Wasp of the Pimtech team. Now, this is going to be a very, very easy, short, and sweet. The reason why Wasp is up here is because she is part of Pimtech, and you need Pimtech to unlock Jubilee, which is one of the better legendary characters available in the game right now. So I don't say that you need to really put too much gear into her because she's only tier 11 for me, and frankly, actually, all you really need to clear the Jubilee event is actually Ghost, and that's part of the reason why they actually made Adam Warlock's event a mythic legendary requiring you to gear characters up to gear tier 12 plus, because they found out that Ghost could actually easily solo this event. So you don't even need to put any gear into Wasp. The reason why my main account has a lot of these characters up high is just because I've been playing so long and I just had extra gear and I just decided to do it. So don't take, my character's 55k power as something that you need to do. It's not. But where can you find Wasp? She is quite available in Villains 4.9, very early on. This is something that I've been doing every single day, actually, to complete my Villains United objective for my baby account, not for this account, but for my baby account. So I'm actually almost a 5-star on my baby account for Wasp, well ahead of some of my other characters, which is great. So I would at least get Wasp to 5-star as a newer player, and then after that, you don't have to farm her. You can kind of leave her off for a little while so you can farm someone else. But this is a good thing to start on early on, because once you get there to 5-star, then you know that you're good to go for the Jubilee unlock. So do get started on Wasp. That's pretty early on, so do that as soon as you can. Wasp at number 6. And coming in at number 5, we do have another member of the Pimtech team. This is Stature of the Pimtech team. Now, there's going to be two things that I do want to say. Obviously, what I said about Wasp still applies to Stature, so she is important for that unlock for Jubilee. But what I think might happen down the line, and now this is a bit of speculation on my part, but Stature is a founding member of the Young Avengers. So I'm hoping that when they do get back around to Young Avengers, that they do make Stature the tank for that team, because that would make a lot of sense. It's not, outside of the realm of possibility of adding additional tags, team tags especially, to other characters. So I hope that they decide to do this at some point. She actually has a decent kit, although, like I said, outside of Ghost, the Pimtech team isn't widely used as a team, so I really hope the Stature gets moved somewhere else to the Young Avengers potentially down the line. But again, you're going to need to farm her up anyways for Jubilee, who is a super, super important legendary. She's the second most newest legendary character, and she's going to be good for some time to come. So do get that farm started as early as you possibly can. Where can you find Stature? Well, she is available in Cosmic 1.9. Again, a pretty early farm, so do get started on this as soon as you possibly can. And then once again, like I said about Wasp, if you get her to 5-star or so on, then you can stop there and move on to someone else for a little while if you want to, but do try to get at least a 5-star for Stature. So that is Stature at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Polaris of X Factor. So this is one of the more recent characters made available in farming, I would say, and we're getting towards the higher tier of the list here. So Polaris as a character, she is a very good member of the X Factor team. Also, I unlocked her fairly early on. Actually, I did use her a fair bit, which is why... Oh, sorry, I meant to say for my baby account. I'm on a wrong account. It doesn't really matter. Anyways, Polaris is still a pretty decent character. How much you're going to use her is going to be dependent on whether or not you have Shatterstar and Longshot unlocked, but she is required, and X Factor is required for Adam Warlock's event, and you do need to raise her to a minimum level. So because Adam Warlock is a mythic legendary event, that basically means that you do need, for a 5-star unlock for Adam Warlock, you need to have her at tier 12, 5-star, and ISO level 3 at a bare minimum. 6-star is 13, ISO 4, and then 7-star, tier 14, ISO 5. So you're inevitably going to have to put gear into her anyways. That's why they moved to this sort of mythic legendary thing, because when I talked about Ghost carrying and soloing the Jubilee event, they didn't want that to happen again, so they did this for Adam Warlock. And Polaris is actually a much easier node farmable as well. That was bad English, but it doesn't matter. Cosmic 1-6 where she was added. So this is actually even before Stature's unlock as well. So you can get the start on this pretty early on. I would say by about level 40-ish. I think that's when Cosmic campaign unlocks, and you can clear that very easy with Gamora and Nebula and some other characters there. So do get on this as soon as you possibly can. Just like I said about some of the other characters, you know, get her up to 5-star and leave her and move on to someone else if you want to. But Polaris is quite good in the X Factor team, and a very, very important character for Adam Warlock, who is the most recent legendary to come to the game. So do get started on Polaris, and that's her at number 4. Now, coming in at number 3 is Iceman. Now, I did say that there was going to be a character who is in a level 70 campaign. Iceman is that one. But Iceman was added in actually fairly recently to this node, so I do want to give a mention to that one. This is also his alternate costume, so he does have 2 costumes, which is nice. He has the original one, of course, which you can find over here, and the limited time one, which I'm using right now, the all-new X-Man, that I guess has been, it was last month, so you may have missed out on that. But hey, you know, I do use him daily, and this is the one character that I actually can use a costume on, and I do like it, actually. So Iceman is a very important character. He's part of that astonishing X-Men team. It is a very valuable raid team right now for mutants. One of the most important, it is the only, you know, main raid team for mutants, especially going further into Doom Raid, which I don't think the astonishing X-Men are going to be replaced anytime soon. So do work on shards for Iceman as soon as you get him unlocked. He is found in Villains 7-9 though, so you won't get this unlockable until level 70, and you'll have to clear through the Villains campaign to get there. So do that, you know, I don't think it's more important than progressing in Doom Raid, Doom War, but if you can get this done at a reasonable time frame, then do make sure that you start farming on Iceman, because I still think he's going to be more important coming down the line, and he's going to be, you know, he's a pretty new character still, so I don't see him being replaced anytime soon here, so do get to working on Iceman. Very good character there for the astonishing X-Men. So that's Iceman at number 3. And coming in at number 2 is Beast. Now, we're getting into a lot of mutant characters here in the top 5, but Beast, once again, just like Iceman, is part of that astonishing X-Men team. He is also part of the uncanny X-Men, but realistically, you're going to be using him in the astonishing X-Men because that's where he is best used, alongside Jubilee and the likes of them, and Iceman, and Kitty Pryde, and Bishop, who I forgot to mention there. So Beast is currently farmable quite easily as well. He is found in Nexus 5-6. I haven't even finished farming him yet, so I'm still working away on that. But I recommend everyone to do this as soon as you possibly can, even if you're not using him too much in the beginning of the game, because you're not really having a lot of characters for him to work with. You are inevitably going to use him once you unlock Jubilee especially, and maybe a little bit before that, because as an X-Men character, he is available to use in the Nexus 8 campaign, so 8-7 to 8-9, which uses X-Men characters, and I'm pretty sure there's Hero Mutant sections as well in Doom War as well. So you will get to use him later on in the early and like that up to level 70 part. You're probably not going to use him too much, but you do want to make sure you get him sharded, because the higher star levels that you have for Beast, the better when you do actually get into the content where you're going to need to use him. So make sure to remember about Beast and do pick up his shards as soon as possible. So Beast at number 2, very usable still. Like I said, I'm using him every single day, even on my main account, so he is someone that you're going to be using quite far into the future, I think. And before we get to the top #1 spot, I do want to give some honorable mentions here because I said I was going to do that. And that comes in the form of Yellow Jacket and Multiple Man. Now, they are in Do More 3.6 and 3.9. This is later game. You know, this is kind of the last campaigns that are available currently in the game. And so for that reason, they didn't make the top 10 list because this is mainly for newer and sort of early mid-game players around the level 70 mark, you know, or up to the level 70 mark. These are characters that you're inevitably going to have to work towards, though, because Yellow Jacket is part of that Pimtech team for the Jubilee Legendary Unlock. Very, very important. And Multiple Man, part of X Factor, who is part of that Adam Warlock unlock. So you're not going to get either of those two legendaries without getting these two characters unlocked. Unless you spend money on them or get super, super lucky in orbs, but you're going to have to get through to this eventually. So I do want to bring this as an honorable mention because this is something that everyone should work towards. Getting through campaigns is really important, but this isn't an early farm, so I didn't want to put this in the main list. So just make sure that you are, you know, working towards getting through here. So Hero 7, Villain 7-1, which gets you to Nexus 8, clear Nexus 8, and that gets you started on Do More, and do make your way through Do More to the end of it, and that's when you're getting to get to these two characters. So let's talk about the #1 character that makes this list, because that's going to be quite interesting. Okay, and coming in at #1 at the top spot is Nebula. Nebula. Okay, she was formerly at the bottom, at the literal bottom of any tier list, but she does make the top farmable character so far as of the end of July 2021. This isn't going to be a list that I'm going to be updating monthly by any means because the amount of characters that get added to nodes are very slim. Does not happen every month, so this will be something that maybe might get updated every 4 months or something like that. But Nebula, super, super important. She's one of my top characters in my roster right now, and something that I'm using on my baby account. Obviously, she's part of this Infinity Watch team, which is one of the best teams in the game, and she's actually fairly accessible as well. She is a node farm now. I believe they got rid of her from a node for a while, but they brought her back. This is something that everyone should be farming because you should also be getting Gamora out of the Blitz store, and so combined with that, Gamora and Nebula, a very powerful duo. Part of that, and even if you missed out on Phyla-Vell and Moondragon, you should still be farming on Nebula because the two of them are just absolutely bonkers. And where can you find Nebula? You can find her in Nexus 4-6, so this is pretty easily accessible. Same with, she's also available in the current Gamma Raid Orb if you're lucky there. But yeah, great, amazing character. Went from 0 to hero. Not as 0 to hero as Gamora did, but Gamora, again, can't make this list because she's a store farm. If you do want to check out my top store farm characters, then I do have a video for that I released recently, and I'll leave that at the end of this video and also in the description down below. So here we are, guys. Nebula making the top spot, and that's also the end of this video. Let me know if you think I missed anything important, any character you think I should have added that I didn't. I will say there are some characters that I didn't mention, characters like Hela, who, and again, this is for the reasons, again, against legendary characters, sort of a Black Bolt that I don't think is really necessary in the early game. I have a video for that as well if you want to check out my legendaries video that I released a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I think these are the 10 most important farms that I think that any player needs to do right now, whether you're an early game, mid game player, hell, even a late game player. If there's some of these that you haven't got at 7-star, some of these are really important to your roster, and these are the ones that you should have maxed out. So do get on that, guys. And yeah, until the next time that I have to update this, or one of your next videos that you guys watch me on, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see y'all later. Boilon signing out.